about the most successful Fortune 500 companies. They don't run on luck. They have a vision plan and strong leadership guiding every decision. So why not run your retirement the same way? So how do you take the reins and run your retirement like a CEO? Here to break it down are George Fossing and Zach Jenkins from Northstar Financial and Retirement Planning, really helping retirees build smarter strategies right here in Greenville. Hi, guys.
Hello. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I love it. We're talking like CEO and 500 companies, right? So what is the first step to taking control of retirement like a CEO?
Well, the first thing is look at maybe cash flow management. So you want to make sure you have a steady income coming in, right? That's kind of like the, we were talking about this earlier, like Netflix.
Yeah.
Isn't that great having steady income coming in all the time as opposed to just selling something?
Yeah.
We're just reading about 23andMe, it's at the DNA company. They're going to filing bankruptcy. Why? There's no ongoing income coming in.
Right.
So really looking at that, risk management is a big part, right? Unforeseen things coming can vary a company, so you want to make sure that's addressed too. And long-term vision. What do you look like? What are your value proposition, if you will? Thinking we want to be sustainable, and what does that look like? So that's the big thing too, the growth aspect of it.
Okay, you mentioned risk a little bit. What's the biggest risk that retirees face?
Well, I think making sure that you plan for downturns. You want to have a solid income plan. George was just talking about Netflix. All right, it's subscription based.
Right.
So think about having an income that is like a subscription based, right? Having like a personal pension. How many companies out there today still offer pensions for their employees? Not many. So setting up predictable income that's going to continue no matter what, whether markets are up or down, helps you to take one of those variables off the table.
Like a teacher who's retired with that pension.
Yep.
The markets just went down considerably at the beginning of the year. They're not so concerned. Why? Their lifestyle's not being compromised.
Right.
Somebody's dependent on the stock market for that. It's a different
that's
viewpoint.
Scary. Oh, so that's where diversification comes in too. How should someone review and adjust their retirement plan, especially when the market or economy shifts?
Really, this was a little scare, but it could get a lot worse. And that's not healthy for someone entering retirement or in retirement. You just want to get rid of that scare, that worry.
Yes.
That's not the, my radio program, Stop Worrying, You're Retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a name for that program. Somebody walked, what's the name? I don't know.
Just
Stop Worrying, You're Retired.
Yeah.
I said, that's great. I was like, no, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
You don't want to worry about your finances. You can have grandkids and family and this and health care. You got enough going on your plate.
Right.
You have to worry about money. So putting a plan together and being able to sustain the downturns, and that you just came back from a boating trip. You're down on the islands, right? Nice tan.
Yes.
But you were down on boats, and these boats were designed. They have safety precautions in there, right? Life jackets. You're not going to sink, but you never know.
Right. You're prepared if anything crazy happens.
You're not nervous on that.
Yeah.
It's the boat's taken care of.
Yeah.
So that's the aspect you want to go in.
I like that. And before we let you go, let's talk legacy, because you brought up the grandkids, and all that. CEOs, when you're talking about their companies, they're always thinking about succession. I mean, there was kind of a popular show about it.
Pretty interesting too.
Right. So how should retirees think like a CEO when it comes to legacy?
The big thing is kind of like myself.
Yeah.
I'm 63. What are you, 35?
I'm 36.
36. It's a bird. I can't keep both these kids.
Yes.
But I'm not going to be around forever either. But having somebody like Zach and Travis coming in, succession planning is, the inevitable is going to happen at some point. Retirement is something. The money's going to go somewhere.
Right.
And usually the kids. So making sure things are set up properly. We have a little saying, so you want to keep harmony in the family, especially when you're gone.
Yeah.
Setting up that trust, being very clear with your goals, making sure tax planning for the kids, doing these Roth conversions early, so when they do they inherit the money, it's not this big tax burden, because the government's going all over that, by the way.
Right.
Inherited money, these inherited IRAs got targets all over them. So really looking at that aspect of it. We don't like to talk about those things.
Right.
Right. But it's going to happen.
So be prepared.
And you're going to be prepared. I'm an old Boy Scout. Be prepared or not.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably one of the healthiest things you could do for your kids is really plan like that. And we cover all of that in our office.
So much to think about. That's why I got to give them a call. They're great. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Listen, this is why having a plan is so important. And today, the team at Northstar is offering an exclusive opportunity for you to get your own CEO retirement plan. If you have saved $500,000 or more, their team will help you run your retirement like a CEO, creating a customized, holistic holistic plan to generate income, manage risk, and optimize your savings for a more secure, more successful retirement. Give them a call at the number you see on your screen. Spots are limited, so don't you wait. 864-297-0762.